Welcome again to a new video, and we are in the third phase of lower limb. So basically we are going to start today with the nerves of the lower limb. Okay, so basically in the first lecture itself, in the first diagram itself, or the basics, we have discussed the nerves of the the front of thigh, then the medial side of thigh. Okay, then we have discussed the general nerve system. Okay, so just recalling front of thigh. Okay, what was the nerve of front of thigh? The femoral nerve. Okay, then what about the medial side of thigh? Okay, medial side of thigh. The medial side of thigh was, yes, the obturator nerve. Okay, and now starting with the new nerves, the gluteal region. So remember, while discussing the Trendelenburg sign, we have discussed about the superior gluteal nerve. Okay, superior gluteal nerve and inferior gluteal nerve. So okay, inferior gluteal nerve. So we have already discussed that the superior gluteal nerve is responsible for gluteus medius, okay, and gluteus minimus, while the inferior gluteal nerve is responsible for the gluteus maximus alone. Okay, this is the most important nerve supply in the gluteal region. Okay, then the front of thigh is done, the medial side of thigh is done, the gluteal region is done. Okay, the back of thigh. Okay, so basically let me just write it first. The back of thigh is supplied by the tibial part of sciatic nerve, tibial part of sciatic nerve, except short head of bicep femoris. Okay, so this exception is important. Let me just first write it, and then we will draw an entire diagram of the nervous supply of the lower limb, except the front side of the and the medial side and the gluteal region. Basically we are going to discuss from here. We are not going to mention it in the diagram, the front of thigh, the medial side of thigh, the gluteal region. We already have drawn diagrams for the front of thigh, the medial side of thigh and the gluteal region. But for the back of thigh, then comes the back of leg, then front of leg, the lateral compartment of leg. We are going to draw a single diagram which will clear all your concepts about the nerve supply of the lower limb. Okay, so let me just first write, don't get confused, we will just discuss it. Okay, the back of thigh is done, then the front of leg, or the, to be specific, anterior compartment of leg. So it was the deep peroneal nerve. Okay, deep peroneal nerve. Okay, then the posterior compartment of thigh, the posterior compartment of leg, sorry, it's the posterior compartment of leg. So basically the common peroneal nerve is responsible for it, or we can yes, the common peroneal nerve, or also we can say the tibial part of, first we will write a tibial nerve. Okay, tibial nerve, and then also the common peroneal nerve. Okay, common peroneal nerve. So let me just first write. Okay, so leave this here. First we will draw the diagram, then you can write it by itself. Okay, so now we will first draw a muscle, the key muscle of the gluteal region. What was that? Yes, it was the piriformis. So basically we will draw the piriformis a little conical in shape. So for example, this is the piriformis muscle. Okay, so let me just label it. It is the piriformis muscle. And remember one nerve, the thickest nerve of the body, which was coming down below the piriformis. What was it? Yes, it was the sciatic nerve. Okay, let me just draw the sciatic nerve. Since it is the thickest nerve, so it extends downwards. Okay, now tell me one thing, the sciatic nerve divides into which two nerves? Yes, the common peroneal nerve and the tibial part of sciatic nerve. Okay, so basically it divides in the popliteal fossa. If you have seen my popliteal fossa video, so you will get to understand. So basically we will draw a rhomboid shaped fossa. Okay, somewhat like this, the popliteal fossa, and the division basically occurs like this is the tibial part of sciatic nerve we have drawn there, and this is the common peroneal nerve. Okay, and then the tibial nerve basically it leaves the popliteal fossa, goes under the flexor retinaculum, and basically it divides. Okay, so basically for example, somewhere like this is the flexor retinaculum. Okay, flexor retinaculum, basically the posterior tibial artery, a posterior tibial nerve or the tibial nerve. Okay, so let me just label it. This is the sciatic nerve. Okay, there will be much more labelings in this, like the figure, so leave some space. Okay, so this is the flexor retinaculum. Let me write it in short. Okay, now we have written that the back of thigh is supplied by tibial part of sciatic nerve, and short head of bicep femoris is supplied by some another nerve. So first, basically what happens is the sciatic nerve. Let me just enumerate what the sciatic nerve consists of. So basically this is the interior of the sciatic nerve. Okay, so basically it's the cut section, like from here I have, for example, have cut the sciatic nerve. Okay, so this is the macro view of the sciatic nerve. So basically what happens is there is two nerves in the sciatic nerve. So basically the sciatic nerve is a group of nerve. Okay, so the two nerves are, so basically this is the the common peroneal, this and this is the common peroneal, and this is the tibial part of sciatic nerve. Okay, so this is the cut section. So what happens is, if some branches are to be given, okay, so the branches are given by the tibial part, the common peroneal part. So these branches are separate branches, they are not common branches. Okay, they are not from the from one single structure, they are from two different nerves, the tibial part of sciatic nerve and the common peroneal part of sciatic nerve. Okay, so this was some more important thing you should know. So basically what happens, first the piriformis, okay, the piriformis in the gluteal region, the sciatic nerve leaves the gluteal region and then it enters the back of the thigh. Okay, so basically this line demarcates the end of the gluteal region and start of the back of thigh. Okay, so what happens in the back of thigh, what were the muscles? The semitendinosus, the semimembranosus, the long head of bicep femoris, the adductor magnus, the short head of bicep femoris. Okay, these were the muscle. So I'm gonna draw this diagram, like I will, on the left side, on this side, I will first mention the tibial part of sciatic nerve, and on this side I will mention the short head of bicep femoris, the nerve supply of short head of bicep femoris. So basically in the back of thigh, so from like here to here, just let me mention it, it is the hamstring region, or to be more specific, the back of thigh. Okay, so what happens is, a nerve is given like this, this is the nerve to semitendinosus. I'll first draw, then I will write. Okay. So basically 4 nerves are given. So what are the 4 nerves? The semitendinosus, semimembranosus, long head of biceps femoris, and adductor magnus, or the adductor part of adductor magnus. Okay, 4 branches. I am writing it in short as more labelings are there in the diagram. So basically, pardon for me that. Just go with me in this video. Be with me. I will clear all your things. Okay. So this 4 branches are the tibial branches. Okay. They are the branches from the tibial part of sciatic nerve. Okay, just a second. I will use a different color for it. Okay, just mention the tibial part of sciatic nerve. Okay. Now we talked about the short head of biceps femoris. Okay, the short head of biceps femoris is basically this branch. Now I told in the cut section of the sciatic nerve we have 2 parts, the tibial part of sciatic nerve and the common peroneal part of sciatic nerve. So basically this is the common peroneal part. So let me just write, this is the short head of biceps femoris, and this part is the common peroneal part of sciatic nerve. So this is basically the common peroneal part. So the short head of biceps femoris is supplied by the common peroneal part of sciatic nerve, and therefore since it is supplied by common peroneal part of sciatic nerve, it is not included in the hamstring muscles. This is one of the reason. Also the origin is different, but this is the one of the reason as it is supplied by the common peroneal part of sciatic nerve. This doesn't comes under the the hamstrings compartment. Okay. Now going a bit in the popliteal fossa. So what happens in the popliteal fossa is the nerve divides. Okay, so the nerve divides. Let me just name the nerves. So basically this is the tibial part. I will just write tibial part, and this is the common peroneal part. So at the first I will describe the the tibial part on the left side, on this side, and the common peroneal part on the right side. Okay. So what happens is, first we will discuss the tibial part. So in the popliteal fossa we get 2 branches. Okay, we get 2 branches on the this side we get 2 branches. So basically what we get the 2 branches is this one and this one. Okay, and also some other branches, actually they are on the same side, but to be more simplified, more 3 branches should be added on the right side. Okay, so this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so what happens is this branch, just a second, this branch is the medial head of gastrocnemius. Okay, the branch to medial head of gastrocnemius, and this branch is basically branch to knee joint. Okay, and these 3 branches which we have written. So basically what happens is, these are the, let me just mention it here, this is the nerve to plantaris. Okay, this is the nerve to lateral head of gastrocnemius, and this is basically the nerve to popliteus. Okay, just I will write popliteus. So remember, all the muscles, okay, which are a bit superficial, like on the back of leg, are the branches are dividing in the popliteal fossa itself. Like the nerve to medial head of gastrocnemius, the nerve to lateral head of gastrocnemius. Then we see the plantaris nerve. Okay, then the popliteus nerve. Also the knee joint nerve is seen. Okay, so basically the knee joint is a separate nerve which goes to the knee joint. It is not related to like the back of leg and all, but it also divides in the popliteal fossa. So remember, some muscles of the popliteal, like the back of leg, gets nerve supply, like the nerve divides itself in the popliteal fossa and then it goes and supply the muscles. Okay, but the deeper muscles of the back of leg will get the nerve supply in the leg itself, like the nerve will divide into branches in the back of leg itself. Okay, and the deep part will get the nerve supply. Okay, and one major nerve not to be discussed here, but I will just draw and keep it, this one. So basically this is the sural nerve, the cut section of the sural nerve. Okay, not to mention it here, but like the sural nerve is also a part of the tibial part of sciatic nerve. So basically just I will highlight this. This is the tibial part, this is the common peroneal part. Okay, now in the leg region, the back of leg, as I have told right now, that the deeper muscles in the back of leg, the nerve will divide in the back of leg itself and the deeper muscle will get the supply. So what are the deeper muscle? The soleus, the flexor digitorum longus, the tibialis posterior and the flexor hallucis longus. So basically the soleus, then we will go from a sequence. Okay, so it will be easy to remember the sequence of the muscles in the back of leg too. So the medial most muscle was the flexor digitorum longus. The middle muscle, okay, what the tibialis posterior, and the lateral most muscle was flexor hallucis longus. Okay, so from this diagram, like we have not completed this diagram, but like from the drawn portion we can judge that on the back of leg the nerve supplies tibial part of sciatic nerve except the short head, which is supplied by the common peroneal part. Okay, so the back of leg is done. Then in the back of the back of thigh is done. In the back of leg, okay, the back of leg, we can see the tibial part is supplying. Okay, like in the popliteal fossa and in the leg the branches are dividing, but the tibial part is supplying the back of leg. So back of leg is done. So the back of leg and the back of thigh, the nerve supply is done. We have covered the back of thigh and back of leg. Now coming to the common peroneal part. So what happens is in the common peroneal part, the common just let me draw it. The first, something like this. So basically this is the upper end of fibula. So what happens is this common peroneal nerve, it winds around the neck of fibula and it divides into two branches. Okay, it divides into two branches. So let me also write the names of these two branches. So basically it is the deep peroneal nerve and the common peroneal nerve. Okay, so what happens is the deep peroneal nerve is completely supplies the anterior compartment of leg. Okay, so what are the muscles in the anterior compartment of leg? The mnemonic tall Himalayas are never dry places, so we can remember the branches. Okay, so basically the tibialis anterior branch, okay, the extensor digitorum longus, extensor hallucis longus, then the peroneus tertius, and one extra branch to the ankle joint. Okay, and also one branch go to the first webbed space. Okay, so basically it is a space between the thumb and the second metatarsal. Okay, now the superficial peroneal nerve. Superficial peroneal nerve is a bit very easy part. It gives only two branches to the lateral compartment of leg. So it is the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. So this was the diagram which I have made personally. All the nerve supply of the lower limb except the front of thigh and the medial side of thigh and also the gluteal region too. So I will just first mark it, like I will give a different color to the tibial part, okay, and the common peroneal part, the supply okay, just a second. So these are the tibial part of sciatic now, and let me give a different shade. Okay, this is the common peroneal part. Common peroneal part also divides into deep and superficial peroneal. Just a second, I have mistaken this. This is the superficial peroneal nerve. Okay, sorry for that. Common peroneal divides into superficial peroneal and deep peroneal. Okay, so this was the diagram I was going to share and a summary of it. Like to give a summary, the back of thigh, okay, the back of thigh is supplied by the tibial part of sciatic nerve except the short head of biceps femoris, which is supplied by the common peroneal part of sciatic nerve. Then coming to the back of leg, it is supplied by the tibial part of sciatic nerve. Okay, the branches of the superficial muscles in the back of leg divides into the popliteal fossa and then it supplies the back of leg muscle. The branches for the deep muscles in the leg, they divides in the back of the leg itself and they supplies the muscle. Then coming to the front of leg, so anterior compartment of leg is basically supplied by the deep peroneal nerve. The common peroneal nerve divides like on the neck of fibula it winds and divides into deep peroneal and the superficial peroneal nerve. Deep peroneal nerve supplies the anterior compartment of leg and superficial peroneal nerve supplies the lateral compartment of leg. So now there's one important thing to mention it here in the sciatic nerve. It is formed by the anterior primary rami of L4, L5, S1, S2, S3. Now one applied portion which we hadn't described much, we haven't described it in very great detail. So it is the sciatica. So what is sciatica? Sciatica is basically compression of sciatic nerve. So basically what happens in sciatica, if sciatica is done, like sciatica, the cause of sciatica is basically the piriformis syndrome. The piriformis muscles get, like it pushes the sciatic nerve and therefore sciatic nerve can be, like it can be disturbed, so sciatica can occur. So sciatica, what happens in sciatica, basically pain radiates on superficial part of gluteal region at the first, okay, gluteal region at the first, then it radiates to radiates to back of leg, back of thigh, the back of leg, dorsum of foot, and also the lateral compartment of leg. And also some muscular loss also can be seen in very much very advanced cases, like for example if the sciatic nerve is compressed, very much compressed, okay, then the motor loss also can be seen of the muscles. So basically if there are extensor muscles are lost, so the ankle joint will be plantar flexion, like the flexed ankle, so plantar flexion will occur. If the like the flexor muscles are lost, so dorsiflexion can be occur. So like this can be seen in this applied portion. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you.